Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. Last year, Tony Khan teased that the balance of power in wrestling would shift. And for once, that wasn't just promoter exaggeration, for Bram has signed a multi-year deal. Just 2 months later, AEW had forged genuinely industry-shaking relationships with Impact and New Japan. In addition to their partnerships with AAA and NWA, the Forbidden Door wasn't just opened, Kenta was trying to double foot stomp Jon Moxley through it. But there's an even more Forbidden Door out there for AEW. The wrestling equivalent of Marvel doing a crossover with DC. Yes, I did know that once happened in the comics already. And that door belongs to Vince McMahon. In an interview with the New York Post to hype his upcoming Dynamite match against Shaquille O'Neal, which is the name of AEW's weekly TV show they're not having a match with actual explosives in yet, Cody Rhodes said that partnerships with other promotions was key to the success of the AEW Prologue pay-per-view All In, and he thinks more crossovers could happen, specifically name-dropping Jacob Fatu and MLW. He also added, "There's no reason that there couldn't be a potential WWE crossover one day. Our doors are open if the business is right, if the moment is right, if the time is right. Our bridges are down," pointing out that Eddie Graham and Vince McMahon Sr., Vince's dad, used to trade talent all the time to keep their products in Florida and New York fresh for fans. Cody did make sure to say, "I don't mean that's a thing that's been discussed or happening, but none of those rules that exist for other places exist for us. This is the first we've heard of at least one side being open to working together. So let's get carried away and fantasy book all the WWE versus AEW dream matches. If you could only have one singles match, who would it be? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere saying it's Orange Cassidy versus Brock Lesnar. Unfortunately, WWE is so controlling of who their independent contractors work with, they've now even banned them from specific third-party mentions on their social media. Last year, WWE banned their talent from using third-party sites like Cameo and Twitch, which provided wrestlers with extra income during a global pandemic while WWE weren't touring. This was reportedly very lucrative for some, with Zelina Vega apparently earning 6 figures from her Twitch channel. She refused to stop streaming, so WWE released her late last year. Her non-compete clause expired last week. And now, according to Wrestling Inc., WWE's bans are becoming stricter. The site, who first reported that Twitch ban news, is now reporting that WWE are issuing violations to talent if they simply name third-party brands, businesses, persons, or charities on their social media feeds. This will start as a warning, then become a fine, and finally suspension if talent continue to violate the new rules. There's no word on whether the third-party persons could include interactions between WWE and AEW talent, like Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods bantering on Twitter, or what that means for Sami Zayn's Sammy for Syria charity. Wrestling Inc. have learned that the company is claiming ownership of talent Twitter and Instagram accounts via a clause in their contracts that grants WWE the exclusive use of their likeness. Such a classic independent contractor contract there, but just how lucrative can this type of content be for WWE talent? Well, according to Love UX, Mandy Rose made an estimated $490,000 in sponsored posts in 2020, while Lana earned an estimated $625,000. But stuff my hole! It's the Elimination Chamber this Sunday! What is time anymore? I don't know, so here's my review of last night's Raw in about 5 sandwiches. Raw opened with Miz TV, but no John Morrison. So when Miz announced his guest as WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, showing, I just assumed it would be Morrison dressed in a kilt, or that guy with his bum hanging out, or a little person, or a woman dressed up as a man, or any number of awkwardly bad taste heel tactics. But no, it was actually Drew. Miz explained Morrison is working with a producer far better than Bad Bunny, as he was nowhere on this show. Miz called McIntyre Andy. Oh, he went there. He used his real name. So Drew headbutted him and threw the briefcase all the way up the ramp again. Miz then cut a really decent psychotic promo after Drew left about cashing in with the big reveal he's removing himself from the Chamber match, which was definitely the plan all along. Not because they realized having the Money in the Bank holder in the Chamber match was stupid. And you've got a perfectly good Kofi Kingston sitting right there. Miz petitioned, definitely not Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, to replace him with the quote, young up-and-comer former ECW World Champion John Morrison. Bonus troll points. But the New Day wanted Kofi Mania Part 2, so Pearce booked a match like it's 2010 all over again. While I feel like I've seen Miz versus Kofi 100 times, the stakes of Kingston getting in the Chamber really heightened the emotional investment, making it all the better when Kofi won. The actual first match of the show, though, was a 6-man tag between the Hurt Business's MVP Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander against Riddle and Lucha House Party, complete with terrible Riddle comedy about who his favorite president is, choosing Harrison Ford, a reference to 1997's Air Force One, because he saved Chewbacca, a reference to 1977's Star Wars. How about that pop culture? Do you like that pop culture? Riddle pinned MVP in some really good in-ring action, as you'd expect, but just in case Matt got any momentum going, Bobby Lashley then utterly destroyed him with the Master Lock, as you'd expect too. Okay, we're 3 weeks into the Damian Priest push, just stick with Bad Bunny, you'll be fine there. Wait. Oh god, is that the 24/7 title? No, Damian Priest, run! Bad Bunny is your new 24/7 champion, likely so he can wear it on his SNL appearance this weekend. Hopefully this doesn't derail Priest and Bunny with the Jobber division, and is just a one-off thing for promotion purposes. Best friends Charlotte and Asuka then took on also definitely best friends Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce next. Evans avoided being against Charlotte for the whole match, and then when she was finally tagged in, she just hopped off the apron and revealed to the world she's pregnant. You were with her for 1 month, Rick! 1 month! Much like this feud so far, this was mad awkward. While WWE didn't explicitly say it's Rick's kid, that's certainly the storyline implication. And the match itself just finished. No count out, no DQ, and who's going to face Asuka for the title at Elimination Chamber now Lacey's out? PW Insider is reporting the pregnancy is a shoot, not one of those classic worked pregnancies, and WWE only just found out about it, explaining the last-minute change. Lana and Naomi talked about being best friends too backstage. I don't believe them. And then Shayna Baszler had to sell for Lana in a singles match. This is what awaits you in the main roster women's tag division. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez stay in NXT. Surprisingly, we didn't get the whole action. Nia Jax just beat up Naomi at ringside, letting Shayna choke Lana out. Braun Strowman made his Raw return backstage after recovering from a blood infection and went straight for last but not least Adam Pearce. Strowman wanted Shane McMahon to make it right that he was never added to the Chamber match, which implies we're getting Braun versus Shane at WrestleMania. I give WWE a lot of criticism because, mostly, their main roster shows make me want to put my hand in a NutriBullet. But one thing they've excelled at over the last few years is their gauntlet matches, and this episode's main event, which took up the last hour of the show, was no exception, having the very significant stakes of deciding who will come out last in the Chamber. It began with AJ Styles versus the just qualified Kingston. That tall guy almost got ejected from ringside after throwing Xavier Woods over the barricade, from which Woods never returned, which I thought was setting up an AJ loss, but he ended up beating Kofi clean, which wasn't the most effective use of getting over Kingston as a credible contender after literally just being added. Retribution's Ali should have cost him the match to further their feud and give AJ the heel heat. The best part of the gauntlet came next, as Drew McIntyre entered, showing for a great bout with AJ. I was so into them one-on-one, I kind of forgot I was watching a gauntlet match. After almost 20 minutes of struggle, Drew put AJ away with the Claymore. Jeff Hardy went right at Drew next, but he got the knees up on the Swanton Bomb and hit a Claymore. And then in came Randy Orton to finish that unfinished business they haven't yet finished. again, but he quickly got counted out. And it wasn't actually bad. Orton's promo earlier in the show had been interrupted by Alexa Bliss going full Satanism, attempting to summon the Fiend from the dead. While I've not been a fan of the supernatural stuff closing Raw through January, this was far less imposing and I really enjoyed it, particularly the visual of Bliss's face taking over the Thunderdome, which caused Orton to get counted out. The final opponent was Sheamus, who went right for Drew before the bell. McIntyre stubbornly told the referee he'd still compete, and they had a dramatic final 5 minutes before Drew succumbed to both fatigue and a bro kick. This was very well done to build Sheamus's heel heat and his blood feud with Drew that the Chamber is based on. What did you think of Raw? Let me know in the comments and vote in our poll on a poll match on our community tab to give your rating, where 78% of you went for "So Lacey Evans is pregnant with Ric Flair's child?" This was one of the best Raws in ages, helped by 1/3 of the show being taken up by a typically great gauntlet match. Switching out The Miz in the Chamber was a good touch too, but the women's division has found itself in even more of a mess. This week's Raw is 3 out of 5. Vince McMahon has reportedly buried Cedric Alexander. Find out why by clicking the WrestleTalk news on the right, and watch Laurie's new Sting Explained video on Parts Unknown. Remember to subscribe there and to the WrestleTalk podcast channel as the super content shake-up ends this Sunday. I've been Mr. Davis. Jam that jam.